Fascinating new report came out this week showing that the billionaires who actually helped craft the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which, as we all know, was the Republican tax scam. But the billionaires who helped craft this have netted billions of dollars since its enactment at the end of 2017. That is not surprising in the least. That was literally the goal of this legislation. We knew that was going to happen, and I'm not trying to trash this report at all. They had phenomenal writers and researchers on this over at ProPublica. It is a fascinating report, and it's great. It's great to expose these individuals. But I'm not gonna just sit here and talk about so-and-so made $215 million. This person made $100 million, because that's not the point for me. The point is the implication of this. This is how Republicans govern. I'm sure loyal viewers here have heard me say plenty of times, the only thing Republicans know how to do is cut taxes. That is the only idea they have had in the last 41 years. And that's true. That's all they ever do. So the question is, how is it with this one idea, with this one goal, one plan of cutting taxes for the wealthy elite, how do they continue to win elections? Because that, to me, is really at the heart of this. And this story does explain that. It doesn't know that it explains it, but it does. Because you see, these billions of dollars that the millionaires and billionaires are raking in from this tax cut, do you know what they use that money for? They use it not only to give direct donations to Republican candidates so that they can keep their tax cuts for the future, they use it to fund think tanks. They use it to pay for lobbyists. They use it to pay for talking heads out there in conservative media. The people who go out there and tell you, Democrats want to raise your taxes. We're trying to cut them. Oh, and hey, if we give more money to millionaires and billionaires, it's going to trickle down to you, so you got nothing to worry about, even though most Americans no longer believe that, including most Republicans. So that talking point isn't serving them well anymore after 40 years of using it and proving it to be completely false. But the talking heads are still out there. The think tanks are still out there. And these think tanks, the Republican ones, spread this idiotic propaganda. You know, these false economic reports that try to say that liberals are so bad at governing and conservatives are great. Liberals are tax and spend and conservatives just want you to be in control of your own money. And again, they're able to do that because they're saving so much money in their taxes. So then they send that money, instead of it going to the federal government in the form of taxes, they send that money to these nonprofit think tanks, so they get to write a lot of it off. They pay for these foundations, and the foundations then spin off and they have their for-profit arm, and the for-profit arm is because they have to get political, and you can't be a nonprofit and be political. And those for-profit arms are then what fund all these little idiot talking heads out there and their little idiot organizations. And I think we all know the kinds of people that I'm talking about. And that's the cycle. Millionaires and billionaires get money from their tax cuts, as this report points out. They then funnel it into these nonprofit think tanks, so they get to write it off. The think tanks spin it off into their for-profit arms to get political, and those groups then fund all of those idiotic papers telling us how Democrats are evil. They fund the talking heads saying conservatives are the only path forward. And that's how they continue to dupe these individuals into voting for them again with this endless cycle of propaganda. And the cycle renews itself every single time we have Republican control in Washington, D.C. And as long as it exists, so too will the right-wing echo chamber out there confusing and outright lying to their own voters for their own personal gain. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.